Samsung might be heading in the wrong direction with the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and it's raising a lot of eyebrows. Let's be honest. If the upcoming S26 Ultra still has the same 5000 mAh battery as the S25 Ultra, the S24 Ultra, the S23 Ultra, and basically every Ultra phone since the S20 Ultra, then Samsung really needs to explain why. 7 generations with the same battery capacity in a time when phone users want more power and longer battery life? That just doesn't make sense anymore. Other brands like OnePlus, Xiaomi, and Honor are stepping up with larger batteries. For example, the OnePlus 13T comes with a huge 6260 mAh battery on a smaller 6.32-inch screen. Meanwhile, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to have a screen around 6.9 inches, but may still be stuck at 5000 mAh, or at most, under 5400 mAh. If that's true, then that's not really an upgrade. It's more like standing still. Sure, a small bump in battery is better than nothing, but in 2025, a sub-5500 mAh battery in a top-tier flagship phone is just disappointing, especially when rivals are pushing the limits. And if Samsung is seriously thinking about removing the S Pen slot just to make the phone slightly thinner or lighter, the decision becomes even harder to justify. Let's talk about that S Pen for a moment. Most people might not use it all the time, but it still adds value. It's a standout feature that makes the Ultra series unique, and it gives power users a tool that's genuinely useful for productivity. Losing the S Pen and only gaining a few hundred mAh in battery and a few grams less in weight feels like a bad trade. It reminds people of when Samsung killed off the Galaxy Note series, a move that didn't sit well with many fans. Now, let's not forget the charging situation. Samsung's flagship phones have been stuck around the 45-watt mark for a while now. If the S26 Ultra doesn't move beyond 50-watt fast charging, it'll again be lagging behind the competition. Phones from other brands are offering much faster charging speeds, and consumers are starting to expect that kind of performance in high-end phones. So with all this in mind, no big battery upgrade, possible removal of the S Pen, and no breakthrough. In charging speed, many fans are asking, what exactly is Samsung focusing on? Thankfully, there are a few silver linings. One of the biggest positives is the rumored use of a Qualcomm Snapdragon chip in the S26 Ultra. While it's still unclear whether all regions will get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 Elite, there's a good chance the Ultra model will avoid the Exynos chip entirely. That's great news, because Qualcomm chips are known for better performance, better battery efficiency, and smoother overall experience. This gives the S26 Ultra a fighting chance to compete with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is expected to be a performance monster. Another piece of good news is that Samsung might skip under-display camera tech again. While having a hidden selfie camera sounds futuristic, the current technology usually means worse photo quality. Samsung seems to understand that it's better to stick with a solid, visible front camera for now, rather than waste resources on a gimmick that isn't ready for prime time. That brings us back to the bigger issue: priorities. Samsung appears to be putting a lot of effort into making the S26 Ultra thinner, lighter, and maybe even more stylish. But is that really what people want from an Ultra phone? Most Ultra buyers care more about power, performance, battery life, and features like the S Pen. If Samsung is sacrificing core features just to make the phone look sleeker, it could backfire. Of course, it's still early, and a lot of these details are based on leaks and rumors. But in the smartphone world where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And with 7 or 8 months still left before the S26 Ultra officially launches, there's time for Samsung to listen to feedback and course correct if needed. The bottom line? People don't just want a thinner phone, they want a smarter one. They want meaningful upgrades, not recycled specs and minor tweaks. Samsung has the chance to make the Galaxy S26 Ultra something truly impressive, but only if it focuses on what really matters to users. Let's hope they do the right thing.